Prophet Muhammad. A teacher at the school has been suspended. This morning, the Housing Secretary, Robert Jenrick, said he was deeply troubled that teaching material should be censored, describing the demonstrations as a matter of great concern. Sangeeta Kandola has the latest. Our correspondent Ben Chapman is in Batley this lunchtime. Ben, clearly lots of anger about this and no sign of it dying down. Asda workers have won the latest round of their fight for equal pay. The case at the Supreme Court was brought by store workers, mostly women, who want to be paid the same as the distribution staff, who are mainly men. Well, Martha Fairley is at the Supreme Court. So, Martha, a significant victory, but still a long way to go. In the last hour, we have had the latest figures on coronavirus infection rates from the Office for National Statistics, and they are encouraging. Our science editor, no.
I suppose the best analysis of what the numbers are showing is they're as good as we could have perhaps expected, having been back 3 full school weeks now into them. And that's why overall across the country, the analysis, the figures are level. They're levelled off. That measures the growth rate of the epidemic.
Claims of rape, sexual assault and harassment have been made at several leading independent schools. It followed the outpouring of concern about women's safety after the killing of Sarah Everard, and the number of claims has escalated. Now the focus is on what schools are going to do about it. Well, Eugene Dutoy is... But first, if you live in Wales, from tomorrow you are allowed to go on holiday within Wales only. But with Easter and school holidays around the corner, it's a welcome freedom after a very long winter. Well, Jessica Main is in West Wales, where people are getting ready for the relaxation in rules tomorrow. She sent this a little earlier. Jessica Main reporting there. So more freedom in Wales for the Easter break than in England, but there will be some relaxation of restrictions from Monday. Shihab Khan is at Westminster. Shihab, so this is the beginning of the government's roadmap out of all of this, isn't it? And a very early stage so far, but it seems to be going to plan so far?
Yeah.
A giant container ship remains stuck sideways in Egypt's Suez Canal for the 4th day running. Authorities... Over the last year, we have shown appreciation for our frontline workers as they battled away in overstretched hospitals and on the front line during the pandemic. But according to research by King's College London, nearly half of medics working in intensive care and anaesthetists are now experiencing symptoms of post-traumatic stress disorder, severe depression or anxiety. Well, the charity says now must be the time to help those who have helped so many others in the last year. Helen Keenan reports. And finally, when the country went into lockdown last March, Max Woozy went outside into a tent in his garden. The 11-year-old started the adventure to raise money for a hospice in Devon, which looked after a family friend. Well, 12 months later, he's raised more than £300,000, and he wants other children to join him and camp out on the anniversary tomorrow. Lewis Warner reports. Oh, great work, Max. A reminder of our main stories this lunchtime. And that's it. I'm back with the ITV Evening News at 6:30. The news where you are follows the national weather. But for now, from everyone on the lunchtime team, bye-bye. Hello again. Now the main stories in London. A former High Court judge has been appointed to lead an independent review into allegations of a rape culture at Highgate School, the North London. People with eating disorders have said they've struggled to get specialist help from the NHS because they've been told their weight isn't low enough. The NHS says special closed course at Kew Gardens. All right, weather now. Here's Manali. All right, time to take a look at what's coming up at 6. And that is all for now. Duncan is back here at 6. Until then, whatever you're doing, enjoy your afternoon. Bye-bye. Alex Salmond launches a rival party to take on Nicola Sturgeon at the polls. The
News with Lucrezia Millarini.
Good evening. Alex Salmond today made a surprise return to the political stage, launching his own pro-independence party and pitching himself against his former friend turned rival, Nicola Sturgeon. Called Alba, it aims to build what the former First Minister of Scotland described as a supermajority for independence in the May elections. But it comes in the wake of the highly public and highly damaging dispute between him, Nicola Sturgeon, and the SNP. Here's Paul Davies on the controversial comeback. Well, let's join our Scotland correspondent, Peter. There was yet more encouraging news about the coronavirus outbreak today as millions of people look forward to restrictions being lifted over the next few days. Well, from Monday, lockdown is eased in England with people allowed to meet outside again and play outdoor sports. And from tomorrow, travel restrictions are lifted in Wales. Well, the latest data showed 6,187 new infections across the UK, a slight rise over the past week. There were 70 further deaths. That's a fall of more than a quarter over the week. And more than 29 million people have had their first vaccine dose. Here's our science editor, Tom Clark. So, Tom, is it fair to say that things are broadly looking at being lifted over the next few days as well?
Yeah, I think the restrictions that are being lifted on Monday, in theory, shouldn't make much of a difference, provided people stick to maybe feeling a bit more overconfident.
All right, Tom, thank you. Well, the easing of restrictions in Wales will mean from tomorrow, people living in Wales can go on holiday to other parts of the nation. The Community Secretary has said he is deeply troubled by protests outside the school where a teacher showed pupils a cartoon depicting the Prophet Muhammad. Robert Jenrick urged those demonstrating to go home. Well, the teacher concerned has been suspended and is now reportedly in hiding. Ben Chapman reports from West Yorkshire. Still to come on the ITV Evening News. Those stories and more after the break. Welcome back. Pupils and former pupils from some of England's leading private schools have been making allegations of rape, sexual assault and harassment. The anonymous claims are being shared online and are growing all the time. And now the schools are being urged to help tackle the toxic culture of abuse. Neil Connery has more. At least 32 people have been killed and 108 more injured when two trains crashed in southern Egypt, the country. Thousands of Asda supermarket workers have won a key legal battle in their claim for equal pay. The Supreme Court ruled that the staff, most of them women, do a job that is comparable to workers in distribution depots, mainly men, who get paid more. Well, legal experts say the ruling will have far-reaching effects, as Martha Fairley reports. There were some remarkable achievements at the British Olympic marathon trials this morning as top athletes secured their spots in the squad for the Tokyo Games later this year. Chris, fallen in love with Stephen. That is it for now. Julie will be here at 10:20 from me and all the team here. Bye-bye.